What's up, guys? Big Mike here from Crazies on the Mic. Welcome to Podcast Stories. We take clips and highlights from our previous podcasts and we shorten them down and make them a little bit easier to watch and listen to. But if you want to listen to the whole podcast, you can go back to our YouTube live because we do our podcast live every week. Or if you want to just listen to us, we're listed on all the major podcast directories. So in this story, we talk about a relative of ours that came up missing that we thought we were never going to see again. But lo and behold, they were hiding under our noses the whole time and we were freaking out. So I hope you enjoy this story. It has a real funny ending. And once again, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Let's just talk about something that's most recent to us. Okay. And it's our little co-host back there that you see in the background.
Yeah, the little one on the couch.
She disappeared on us. And she gave us a big fright. She was missing for over 24 hours.
So I came home from work Saturday, right? Yesterday, right? Or Friday? Friday. I came home Friday. We're having a lot of stuff going on because the battery took a dump in the truck, so I had to get a new battery. I was having a hard time finding the battery. Sarah helped out with that. She ended up finding one and getting it for me before I got home from work, so I could just go ahead and just change it out. So I changed it out, hanging out, just whatever, didn't really pay attention to it. And then finally we lay down and I was like, where is Biggie?
Because Biggie, she does not like to be messed with during the day. Like, leave me alone. She's doing her own thing, parkouring all over the house.
But usually when I come home from work, she usually jumps on the couch right there and she usually meows at me and says, what's up, homie? Where you been at, man? I've been here by myself all day. I haven't had no pats or cuddles from you.
She acts like I haven't been here all day, but I'm always working, so I don't have time to mess with her.
Yeah.
But so true story. So at night when it's time to go to bed, she literally jumps in the bed with us and she starts to cuddle with him. And that's why he recognized that he wasn't around.
I mean, it's usually when we hit the mattress, man, about a few minutes later, she comes jumping in and she's like, it's time to cuddle. And I was like, where the hell's she at? So we're like, what the fuck? So we jump up. We're all over the house. We're opening closet doors, we're opening cabinets, we're searching every room, we're searching every windowsill,
calling for her,
looking under the couches, looking in all the extra rooms, looking in the garage,
went outside, look in the backyard. It's nighttime. Like, it was about 9:45 when we realized that she was missing.
Yeah.
And so I'm freaking out because there was just like one incident where I left the door open and that was around 2:00 and I'm like, could it have been then?
Yeah.
So I'm panicked. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I was like, I told Sarah, I said, was the door open when you were trying to wrangle the dogs in? Because one of the dogs was being brand new and didn't want to come in because there was another dog from the neighbors that was aggravating our dogs. So they were being insubordinate. So I was wondering, was the door open maybe when you got him in? Because we had an incident where Biggie had stepped out and was looking around and then we said something and she ran back in. So we're like, man, this little cat's getting bold. She's never wanted to even look, step out the door. And then all of a sudden she's getting bold and wants to come out.
So we're looking for her. I am so upset. And I'm finally, it's a little after 11. I reach out to my daughter.
We get flashlights. We're out there walking around the street and stuff like that.
I know there's roaming dogs. And so I'm scared. So I reach out to my daughter. She had just gotten off of work and she's like, you want me to come over? I'm like, no, it's late. I've already looked. She's like, put her litter out there. So I put her litter outside in the front and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I really don't.
Hold on. What's up, Eva, our #1 fan? He's back on here. What's up, Holly?
PJ.
I'm gonna put PJ to sleep, man. With that, I got that quiet storm voice, What's up, guys? We're gonna play some Jodeci now.
No, we're not.
Quiet Storm.
No, we're not playing no damn Jodeci, dummy.
All right, I'm sorry. So, I just gotta say what's up to the chat, people in the chat. So
nonetheless, so we're looking for her, and I go to bed around midnight. He's already going to sleep, but right before we go to sleep, I'm crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry, and he's like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
And then we're laying there and start hearing noises.
Like we heard some little scratching.
Like,
we're like, what the hell is that? So Sarah's like, I think it's coming from behind the dresser. So I look behind there. I can't see it. I said, get a flashlight.
It's a big dresser, guys.
Yeah.
Huge dresser.
You know, those old school dressers. It's not old school, but it's a big old dresser like your grandma had and shit, you know? And so I'm looking behind there. I don't see nothing. I pull it away from the wall. Nothing. Scratching stops. I push it back. We go to bed. You know, nothing else. Nothing happened. So we're like, fuck. You know, next day, go to work.
I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm messaging people on, because I'm not on social media anymore, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm not on social media, so I happened to get on to Facebook Messenger, and I messaged the lady, and I was like, "Listen, I know it's 6:15 in the morning, but I'm completely beside myself. My cat's missing. Can you please help me? She's not chipped. She's an indoor cat. She's spayed. What do we do? I have her food out in the backyard. I have her litter in the front yard." You know, and so she was like, usually in the morning and the night, that's when you're going to hear them or whatever, because it's quiet and, you know, so they can be heard.
So all right. We're like, you know, I'm at work, you know, I'm worried about it all day. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, you know, I just can't comprehend the fact that she left. She's
without saying goodbye.
Yeah. She's a little runaway. And,
so,
you know, I'm just like, I just can't, you know, I'm like, well, she didn't go to somebody's house because Biggie's not the type to go up to people.
She ain't friendly enough.
She ain't friendly.
She doesn't like to be messed with.
So I'm like, where did she go? You know, where could she be? All day, you know, I'm just thinking. And I'm just like, you know, hopefully, you know, she makes her way back home, you know, eventually. I get home from work and
okay, so for me, he's been at work all day. I had a loved one, a very close family member, friend family, pass away. And so I had a funeral to go to. And so I was with that all day. I had a moment where I got to come home, and I'm searching and I'm looking and still nothing. And so I leave again, and I go to we go to be with our family, you know, and in this time of need. So we're doing that, and I come home after 6. Mike comes home.
Yeah, I come home and I'm like, I go to the main street and I'm driving around, and I go walking around out there where the gas station is, you know, where the buildings are behind our house,
because there's businesses behind our house.
Calling her name, looking for her, you know, nothing. I come home, you know, I keep looking outside, just hopefully they'll open the door and she come running in, you know, and evening time comes, and you know, we're kind of like, you know what, I mean, we're kind of almost to where we're like, man, she's gone, you know.
Yeah, we're sitting outside, and, you know, we're just sitting there, and we're like, you know, I hate to say this, but this is it. You know, we're going to have to move on without her, and this is going to hurt, because you know, we love Biggie. We've had her for 4 years.
She was a baby.
You know, So we rescued her from a box.
Yeah.
And so we're just, you know, scared.
Yeah.
He's messing with the stuff for YouTube, and I am you know, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go to bed. So it's like 9. It's again around 9.
Yeah.
And I go to the room and I hear her crying. And I'm like,
she's like, Mike, I hear her. And I jump up and I'm run over there, and it's real faint, you know, real faint. And I'm like, man, I think it's coming from outside. And she's like, no, I think it's coming from with this dresser, you know? So I'm like, okay, pull out the drawers. I'm gonna run around the house and see outside. So I run around the house.
So I'm pulling out, I hear her, and I'm like, baby, I hear you. Where are you? And so I pull out the his bottom drawer, and I'm like, baby, I can hear you. Where are you? I'm like, Biggie, where are you? And so I go to pull out the drawer above the bottom one, and it's his shirt drawer. I can't open it that much.
It's jammed, you know, with closed, so it's hard to open.
And so yeah, that hurt my ears. So
excuse me, Sarah. Sorry.
So basically, she's in there.
Yeah, she's in the drawer.
And she's stuck in there, and I can't get her out. So I had to pull some shirts out. And then she was able to squeeze out, and I was able to pull the drawer out. And she comes out, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm screaming for Mike. I'm like, I got her. And so she's been in there for over 24 hours.
Yeah, she's like
stuck in the dresser. And then we noticed that in my clothes and that my shirts were ending up in Mike's dresser, and we couldn't understand that. Well, we figured that she was reaching over trying to get out.
Yeah.
And so I have more shirts than him, and so she was pulling them over to his side trying to get out. So like a lot of my shirts ended up on his side. But
hold on. Excuse me for a second. Sarah, you keep talking. I need to fix this mic, okay?
Okay.
Just keep talking.
All right. Okay. So anyway, so it was crazy funny. It was hilarious. It was really funny, but she was like, you rescued me. And so nonetheless, she snuggled all night. Like she wouldn't leave us alone. And I swear to God, at one point she got on the foot of my bed and she looked over that dresser drawer and she was just mean mugging it. Like, you had me captive for 24 hours. I don't even know how long, because I don't know how long she'd been gone. I hadn't seen her, I was working, so I didn't see her. I knew she was there during the day at some point, but I don't know when I lost her. I have no idea. So she's back.